Hey, what's up, everybody? Cracking on here, and we got another day of the Hobbit spoilers. I'm going to be real honest with you. I've been sucked up in Power World so much that I didn't even realize we were continuing the previews. I thought Amsterdam was just a little preview day, and then we'd have like a break before they started spoiling more. But here we are. I'm going to go ahead and kick myself off so we can kick into this. Boop. All right, so we got Beorn the Fierce, 3 and a green for a legendary creature, bear, shapeshifter, warrior, 6/6, trample. Other bears you control get 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a trample counter on up to one target creature you control, and it becomes a bear. Therefore, it gets the 2/2. And then if you control 3 or more bears, draw 2 cards. So this is like the greatest bear commander ever. Because you get a bear lord, you get trample counters, and it turns non-bears into bears. Therefore, you can kind of fill your deck with other good creatures that are not bears, turn them into bears, get the bonuses, and then also draw 2 cards if you control 3 or more bears, which in the deck, making bears doesn't seem that hard. So, nuts, insane. 10 out of 10 bear commander, and it's Beorn the Fierce, so amazing. This one I love. Lord of the Eagles, 7 blue for an 8/8 flash. Legendary creature, Bird Noble. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control with flying. And then it has flying itself. So just from a standard standpoint, think about like Aang and Aven Interrupter, cards like that, or the one mana siren. I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's got flying. Then you go into Aang flying, and then you go into like an Aven Protector flying. So that's 5 already off of this. So now you have a 4 mana flash flying 8/8 that you can play, and then you're already playing like a blue white flash deck to begin with. So this is just like, not that you need the finisher to that deck, because like Aang and Aven and whatnot just kind of poke away while you're disrupting them. But I just think, like, especially like, think about like a high noon deck, even like getting this down to like 1 blue or just blue, flashing this on the end step for your spell for the turn on your opponents, and now you have an 8/8. That's gonna close the game out real quick. Um, Elrond Moonreader. I don't know if we covered this one the other day, but it was new to me. So 2 and a blue, 3/3. Whenever you activate an ability of a creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Then you can 5 blue, exile 2 other target non-land permanents you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. That's very expensive to blink 2 things. I guess you can do it at instant speed, but 7 mana to blink 2 things seems really expensive, even in Commander. You do get to draw a card when you activate it, and if you have a lot of creatures that do have like low cost activated abilities, or you have like a training grounds in your deck and you can do things cheaply, you can do this once per turn, even on your opponent's turns to draw cards. So I mean, I can see it being pretty good in Commander, but I can't see this going anywhere else. We did get like 2 more sagas today. We got Misty Mountains of Cold, 2 in a red, chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. All create a treasure token. Then if you control 4 or more treasures, you sacrifice the saga. If you do, you get a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying. I can maybe not on turn 3, but I can see a world where you play like a big score and stuff like that, and then you have like 2 treasure tokens already when this comes out. And like chapter 2, you're already being able to get the 6/6. But if you're playing like a treasures deck, which there are a few, um, I mean, you could turn 1 have a 6/6 on this, or like chapter 1 6/6. Roads go ever on, 1 and a white for chapter 1. Search your library for up to 2 basic playing cards, exile them, and then shuffle. You gain 2 life. And then 2 and 3 is put a card exiled with the saga into your owner's hand, so you get your 2 planes into your hands. And then whenever you attack this turn, target creature you control gets 1/1 to end a turn for each planes you control. So little planes devotion. I was gonna say, this kind of reminded me of that, like It was a Theros saga that came out, made a search for planes, made a wall, gained life. Kind of reminds me of that card. Then we had a Japanese card, the Elf Raft Helmsman, 2 and a blue, creature Elf Pilot, uncommon. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, choose one. Tap target creature an opponent controls, or untap target creature you control. I am sure there's something somewhere that breaks this card, right? Like, especially with fetch lands, tap down 2 creatures just with 1 fetch land, and that's not like there isn't a Simic landfall deck or anything in standard, but just thinking about like other formats, like playing 1 fetch land and tapping down 2 creatures, or tapping 1 for mana, cracking your fetch land, untapping the mana door, tapping it again, especially with like Badger Mold. Like I can just see this being kind of wild. They got Iron Hills Blacksmith, 1 and a white, for a 1/1 creature Dwarf Artificer, double strike. Whenever this creature enters, create a colorless equipment named Axe, and then equipped creature gets 1/0, and then that token has equipped too. I I wish that this auto equipped the 1/0, making it a 2/1 double strike. Um, I know there are things that like free equip, like Super Soldier Serum and stuff like that. Now, putting a Super Soldier Serum on this makes it a 3/3 double strike, which is incredibly strong. And then you got like Leyline Axe. Yeah, Leyline Axe would make this a 4/4, but then double strike trample. So I'm sure there's something there for like standard. I can't see this making it into Eternal formats though. You got Master of Lake Town, 1 black for a 3/2 legendary creature human advisor with Death Touch. Whenever a player loses life, that player mills that many cards. And then when the Master of Lake Town dies, draw a card for each graveyard with 7 or more cards. 3/2 Death Touch is not bad. Whenever you hit them, like let's just say you hit them just for 3, they mill 3 cards though, so that's pretty good. I can see this being pretty good against like control decks if it sticks. Azog Moria's Ruin, 2 and a black for a 1/3 legendary creature Goblin Soldier. When Azog enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. Its controller amasses goblins extra X that controller's power. If you controlled that creature, draw a card. So it's kind of a chupacabra effect for 1 less mana, but they get a goblin. But if you destroy your own creature, you draw a card and you get the goblin. So I think that's kind of where this home is, like a self-sacrifice style deck, because you get the goblin and you get the card. So pretty good though. If you're doing it on your own stuff, pretty good. Yeah. Part in friendship, 4 and a green enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you revealed a creature card. If its mana value is less than or equal to the number of lands you control, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order, and it only triggers once per turn. So you could block knowing that it will die, and you'll get to trigger getting another creature off the top of your library. This is like a very commander card. It's not going anywhere outside of commander card, but it is like just a green effect, if I had to ever say so, because it's counting off your lands. You're being able to block favorably, knowing that you'll get another creature in return, and it goes straight onto the battlefield. So, let's see. Equal to the number of lands. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Oh, so I guess you can hit a creature that is not equal to the number of lands you control as far as its mana value, and then it will just go straight into your hand. So if you like block with a big idiot and then all you get is like a dork off the top, that's kind of bad. But if you block with a dork and get a big idiot, then it's also kind of bad. You kind of want it to be like equal to, so could be weird. Stoned by Sunlight, 1 and a white, instant. It's an uncommon. Choose 1, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Pretty common effect for that mana. or until end of turn, target creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, and it gains indestructible. So, it's just like a limited card in my opinion. And then we got a couple reprints on box toppers. We got the Aragon and Arwen Wed. Um, I'm not gonna read this one off. This is just like a reprint, box topper art. Then we got Andoril as well, and the Delighted Halfling. All right, that's all for today, guys. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and try to keep up with all these spoilers coming out. I just feel like it's back to back to back to back to back. So we'll catch you guys on the next Hobbit video or Star Trek or whatever stuff we got coming on. Catch you guys on the next one.